Welcome to Circle Back to You podcast. I'm your host, Jason Wilson.
Our guest today is RJ Mood. He's an expat, travel entrepreneur, and founder of Mood Travel Club. Based in Medellín, Colombia, he is dedicated to helping Black travelers explore, relocate, and thrive abroad. As the host of Black Expat Life in Colombia on YouTube, RJ provides insightful Q&As and expert advice on moving to Colombia. He also curates relocation tours, leisure group trips, and reconnected nomads experiences focused on uniting the African diaspora. His mission is to make international living and travel more accessible for the culture. Welcome everybody to Circle Back to You podcast. I'm your host, Jason Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with my brother, RJ Mood. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. As always, good to be back in the circle.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So man, the last time we were talking about uh, all of the planning that was going on for the upcoming virtual relocation conference. We're going to have the second one on July the 12th. We're going to talk all about that. But right now, man, I want to get into you actually leaving Medellin and going back to the States. You're in the States now for a couple of weeks or something like that. Tell us about how it was actually being there again after a while, right? I mean, you were in
And
Medellin for how long before you had been back in the States?
honestly, I'm always on the road. So I think I was in the United States maybe like 2 months ago. Maybe I think in May. But every time I come back, it's like I got a bald head. It's like a slap in the back of the head. It reminds me immediately, like, okay, this is why you left. Things are different. We were talking about that. I think one of the biggest things, I was always big on energy, but I feel a little bit more in tune with it now without all the craziness that goes on in the United States in my head. And I've been here, I think I landed maybe 10:30, and it's different. You said, is that a bad thing or a good thing? It's different. I'm trying not to say it's negative. It's just a little different. You can feel it. The people outside, not saying anybody was mean or anything, it was just different. And I realized that what we have both in the United States as well as abroad, when you have the ability to look at both sides of the coin, you really get a different perspective than I think only one side of the coin offers.
Very true. I mean, in all fairness, bruh, I mean, you actually live in the city of the Eternal Spring in Medellin. I mean, it's a completely different feel, culture, and everything. People are so nice in Medellin, number one. And number two, man, okay, so where are you in the States right now?
I on the first start of the tour. I'm in South Florida right now.
Okay.
And you mentioned the city of eternal spring because it's getting warm in Medellin. Everybody's like, oh, hurricane, not hurricane, global warming isn't real. And I said, when I first came to Medellin in 2018, I remember being almost dressed like this. It's raining here in South Florida. It's not cold or anything, but it was just raining. And I remember having like a trench coat on because it was overcast and rainy. I had like a scully on because it was cold that night. And those clothes I can't really wear in Medellin anymore, to be honest with you. I went to a tour not too far from the airport by the top of the city, and the guy's like, "Oh, guys, you guys are down there in Medellin, the city of eternal summer. How warm is it down there for you?"
Yeah.
Because it is starting to get a little bit warm. When I first got there, I think I won't say a running joke, but the way you could tell a gringo or a foreigner was because he had shorts on. They're figuring, oh, it's hot. Most of the time, paisas, people from Medellin, they weren't wearing shorts. Now it's hot. People
Is it?
not going to be wearing long pants and long clothes just because. Now, don't get me wrong, because I do see some people with some winter clothes on. I'm like, it's 80 degrees in
Yeah.
Medellin right now. But yeah, it's interesting to be back here. It's a very short trip to the United States, but I'm looking at the time when the flight leaves.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so I want to talk to you, man, about the results from the last virtual conference. What was the feeling from the people that actually attended?
Well, the feedback was actually really favorable. I say that is because I wasn't certain we were looking to bring in some additional elements that, off the top of most people's head, when looking at relocation, they might not say, "Oh, this is on my checklist." But once people came and actually saw what was being presented, they were able to see not only have we covered all the basics, but we covered things that they had forgotten about that they needed to know. A couple of the people reached out to me afterwards and said, you did a really good job. Thank you for bringing this information to us, because it wasn't packaged together. And I think a lot of people, when they go to start their journey, they go to start putting everything in Google. All right, well, Google this, and I'm going to Google that. Well, a lot of ancillary services, real estate, healthcare, unless somebody has already done the legwork, it might not be packaged. And if it is, it may be in several different packages. So with a lot of the feedback that came back was thank you for packaging it in a way where I can get all of this in 2 days. It was 2 days for our virtual conference that we had. We did restructure some things and scale down to 1 day. That way we can try to get you guys the information that you need immediately. That way you can try to start making a decision. Do I go online and book a flight now to come to Medellin or go to Santa Marta? These were things that I realized once I was getting the feedback that having this was such an important step, because maybe you aren't at the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. I've got a game plan, a calendar. I know what city I'm going to live in, but you have it on your radar. And the virtual conference gives you an opportunity to sit right where you are, very low cost. So we're not doing anything. It's not $100. It's something that gives you an opportunity to say, I know where you are. I'm going to meet you exactly where you are. I'm going to bring a team of experts with me that allows you to have a better start and a better chance of success than so many of the people that are actually on the other side giving you back the feedback and everything else. So it's been great to see. I think the United States is giving more Americans pause for cause and possibly looking to take a leave and go elsewhere and relocate. I think I saw the big, beautiful bill got passed today. Whatever that means on the other side for the United States of America, I don't know. It doesn't look great. And I'll tell you that is we are here because we anticipated some of these things. And I think that's what the general feedback was, Jason. Like, I don't know how you put all of this together, but thank you that you did, because now I can make an educated move with my next move in my life.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, from the feedback that I got from people that I knew that attended the conference, they said that it was a wonderful wealth of information. I had the privilege of being backstage and watching everything from a different vantage point, and man, it was an awesome experience. So, I would recommend it to anybody from the states that's interested in relocating here. I mean, everything from healthcare to you know renting or buying a house, the neighborhoods that you can stay in, um, food, culture. I mean, everything was being offered at this conference, and
No, that's real.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the next one. As a matter of fact.
Nah, same. And the I kind of hinted on it because everybody's like, healthcare, real estate, what to eat. But one of the things that we added that a lot of people aren't thinking, but mental health is a big thing.
Yeah,
Obviously, we circle back to you podcast. You dive into these things and what it means for people. But what's going on in the United States, it's probably in a position to be attacking your mental health, wearing down on it. But just because you move abroad doesn't mean that all of a sudden the sun comes out and there's rainbows and unicorns and everything is crystal clear and perfect. You may run into a scenario because you are now in a new environment. You have to understand that mental health abroad looks different than mental health in the United States. So what we did was we brought on two different therapists. These are doctors. These are licensed doctors, psychiatrists, but they offer coaching services. Coaching services allows you as an expat or future expat to say, hey, do you have anybody that you could actually talk to that knows what you're going through? Never mind you as an adult. What if you're looking to make this move abroad with your children? What does that look like? Because I get so many people that are like, I want to move abroad with my children, but I don't know what my child's life is going to be like that. Is it going to have a hard time with the new language, with the new culture? So we brought in, and I'll shout out to them, Dr. Ashley Carrigan and Dr. Erica Wilkins. They both represent our coaching sector. So when you get out here, you're going to need somebody that understands, that feeling that you have when you missed somebody's birthday because you now live abroad. You missed everybody got together and you weren't there because you're living your best life somewhere else. What does that feel like? Unless you know it, you really can't tell it until you go experience it. But how do you have that conversation with somebody that doesn't know your life? These were things that once we got into the nuances and I started listening, getting the feedback from the comments, getting the feedback from the people in my messages, and really understanding like, this is bigger than just packing my stuff and leaving. This is a more comprehensive thing where once you get the foundations out, you need to figure out a community, a support system, a way that is going to give you an opportunity to feel like you're not just standing alone in a foreign country. So, yes, you brought up the real estate, the healthcare, all of those things. Gotcha. But the bigger things that we're looking at is once you actually get here, why just leave you and say, okay, go for what you know? We're going to continue investing in you by creating community, connecting you to those communities, as well as helping you have a positive mental health because your physical health is bound to be abundant when moving abroad. It just is bound to. But we often don't realize that mental health is the thing that is often neglected because we can't see it. I get a cut, I go get a band-aid. But oftentimes with mental health, you don't see it until it's too late. So these things were, I feel like not only make our relocation conference different, it makes it important for you that you show up to an event like this.
Absolutely. So, I think what a couple of months ago, I had a client, Kelly Rhymes. She was interested in going to Medellin, and she actually made that move at the beginning of June. She's actually there now in Medellin. I've talked to her. Of course, when you first get there, there is an adjustment period that you have to go through with the altitude and and everything else. So she had to go through that. She said, it's been really really interesting making this transition, and I think
Mhm.
she's at the point now where she's really really enjoying herself. I need to check on her today, as a matter of fact.
Listen, I love that. I love that because you put me in contact with us. You put her in contact with us, and she booked, came out here, and she was a person because I don't have any children, but I'm a person that is very community based and wants to do what I can to support my community. So she jumped in my DMs and said, "RJ, do you have anybody that can tell me what's like having children, abroad?" I said, I'll find somebody. I'll guarantee you that they're going to give you exactly what you need. So I worked within the community to be able, when she got out here, to present not only all of the things that she needs, but what she asked for, which was, my children are coming with me. How does this work? And shout out to Candace Russell. She was able to give her experience with her with moving out here with her two children. And I was scrolling Instagram, and it honestly it made me like, this is why I do what I do, because Kelly, when she got out here, she connected with Carolina when she moved with her children. She met Carolina when she came
Okay.
on the physical tour. When she got out here, she came with her children. Carolina is the owner of Carolina Restrepo is the owner of Medellín Expat Services. She'll be one of the people that will be speaking as well. She not only helps with visas, relocation, but she goes a little step further with even like personal assistance. You might not come here speaking fluent Spanish, but if you need to
Uh-huh.
open up a bank account or go to the doctor, or these things are important that are nuanced things. So excuse me, I'm scrolling on Instagram, and sure enough, Carolina is like, shout out to my new client, Kelly. She's here with her kids, and the kids were having a ball. They were like at an arcade or something. They just had the biggest smiles on their face, and I was like, I don't know the kids, so I don't know what their lives are like back in the United States, but I'm pretty sure they were probably like this is insane. Like from the
Yeah.
mall to just everything. And I said, damn, this is really dope to be able to see something that started from all the way back when I first got invited. And then over the years, continuously building and shifting. And then once I looked at the crossroads that was forming in the United States, after as a person that had already been gone for 2 years, I realized that so many people were going to be possibly looking to go too because that crossroads was just a little too hard to the left or too hard to the right. So people were going to be like one or the other. So I started the relocation scenario with that in mind. That if somebody was to look to go leave, that they would have somewhere to land and to see the matriculation of how it started to Kelly coming out here by herself to her bringing her kids. Then I think a week or two later, boyfriend came and she's like, I need to get him a ride from the airport, and I got him the airport ride, and I'm just like,
Mm.
are y'all having a good time? Are y'all living it? And it's just dope to be a part of. To be honest with you, man.
Oh, that's phenomenal, man. I'm so glad that all of that worked out and that Kelly's getting adjusted to everything, man. I still to this day, man, reflect on, me leaving the States and coming here and all of the stuff that it took to adjust here, learn the language, the culture, and everything. I mean, what an advantage it is for somebody that has the access to a virtual conference. I mean, it's wonderful what you're doing, man. Seriously.
Nah, I
So
appreciate it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So not only are you now doing the virtual conference for people that want to come to Medellin, you're looking at expanding to other cities, including Cartagena here in Colombia and also Santa Marta. Speaking of Santa Marta, you have Rotisha in Santa Marta.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Leticia.
yeah, shout out to her. She did a wonderful job at the conference, and I had the privilege of checking out your new podcast show the other day, man, with Rotisha and two other friends. Man, tell me about the show, how that all came together, and what the show is about.
Yeah, nah, that's cool, man. So roots and routes, man. We all took different routes to get here, but we are all rooted from the same diaspora. So that show was essentially putting black expats into a room to discuss real conversations. I told you guys I got you on the foundation. You guys need to know healthcare, real estate, medical services, those things. But what about your community? What is actually life like there? And I don't mean 30-second clip and telling you where the best place to get a beer or no, 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 no. What this does is say, okay, let's have some real conversations about what Black travel looks like today, both the good and the bad. But also, let's look at some of these trending things, these topics that are going on, these things that are causing the people to say, I'm tired of the TV and I'm tired of the internet. And let's lean right into them. Let's talk about them in a way where one, we can move the conversation forward in a way. So what you saw on that conversation is essentially taking some of those hot button things, some of these things that are going on in the world right now, and providing light to it and real clarity and conversation from both people that did live in the States, as well as people that are looking back into the States and saying, what is going on? And also, what our lives are like out here. Most people aren't willing to get you behind the wizard's curtain. What this Roots and Routes podcast does is give you an advantage seat behind the wizard's curtain and saying, what is going on the ground? Are these people actually having the times that they say they have? Or is it just fodder? Well, it's not. We are actually having a great time. We actually do have a great community. I cannot speak for every location. I can only speak for the locations that I am in. But the people that are on the podcast, we all currently live in Colombia, myself in Medellin, as well as Michelet. Akeem, we live Bidu. He is in Cali, and you mentioned Rotisha. Rotisha is in Santa Marta. For you guys that don't know Rotisha, she is also our Santa Marta relocation expert. Why would I tell you how to move to Santa Marta? I've never been there. But my job is to bring you into a scenario where you can just come here and I will do the legwork to bring you everything and everyone that you need to figure out if it's Colombia or any other place that's going to be on your radar. I'll do the legwork for you. So, Roots and Routes is definitely came out of all of that. because I knew outside of just structure, people needed to understand what life was like here and what community was like. So those conversations, they're a little off the cuff sometimes. Somebody said we went from black travel to we were talking about something. People, it was a lively conversation for certain. You guys go to Roots and Routes podcast on YouTube. Check that out. It's like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, man. I mean, that conversation. Okay, it was informative. It was funny, full of information from the states and also here, and everything that Rotisha and everybody see foreign people that come here. Most
Akeem is like the dad of the show. He always got like a really stern voice, and he always gives us like this one like, "All right, you guys, we got to listen." He puts his finger right at there, and then Tisha is just, yeah. We are a lively bunch, and it's so funny. We actually we're all supposed to be linking in fingers crossed. I think Akeem is going to make it, but in Medellin at the end of this month.
okay.
So we may do something live with each other versus everybody being in four different locations.
Oh, that'll be great, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
so when
sure.
is the show?
When is the show? We are all so everybody is a travel entrepreneur. Miss Chalet is a craftswoman. I'm obviously here. I have 10 flights this month.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been actually like four different countries this month. So we do the show as much as possible, considering that everybody is always on the road. I think last week we had a delay because Akeem went to speak at the Black Travel Expo. We had Maurice Foley on one of our shows, and Maurice Foley is the owner of the Black Travel Expo because he was going to travel shows and conferences and not seeing us in the room. So he just decided to create a Black Travel Expo for us, travel agents, relocation experts, content creators, all things travel. This is such a unique time because a lot of people don't realize the power that we have. When quantified, it sounds extremely big, but taking the quantification out, not a lot of people aren't willing to move. But $145 billion, Jason. Black travelers spent $145 billion. So when you look at something like that, um, it gives us the opportunity to work together as a cohesive unit, both with situations like the four of us coming together as individual silos, as well as shouting out to people like the Black Travel Expo, because it's taking the community. It's going to take the community. And once you get out here, once you get past the relocation conference and you get out and you see the community, you're going to remember this conversation and say, he said community like three times, and I wasn't catching it, but now I understand.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Bro, I think this is a great point in the show to take a break and get a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back, ladies.
Cool.
All right, so we had the virtual relocation conference coming up on July the 12th, Saturday at 12 o'clock Central or Eastern?
It's going to be Central Time.
Central, yes,
Yes, sir.
until 3 o'clock Central. So, what can people expect when they come to the
Well, you kind of highlighted some of the things, but there's some other things you're not going to get that you will get that we didn't cover. We already covered the basics. You're going to get the healthcare. You're going to get real estate. You're going to get property investment. Should you be coming out here looking to purchase a property, you are going to get the Medicare options, both regular healthcare as well as medical tourism. You mentioned Miss Chalet. Shout out to her. She has been living abroad for longer than most of us have been traveling, and she actually does volunteerism. So she created uh, a nonprofit organization here in Colombia. So she's going to be able to tell you the importance of not only volunteering, getting back when you go to move abroad, whether it's Colombia or anywhere else you live. But at least for Colombia, how you can get involved with some of the things and organizations that she has. We mentioned the two doctors that'll be able to offer the coaching services. But one of the things that I provide that I think is really important because it starts a lot of times where why are you looking to leave? So I go through breaking down the 5 reasons that I left because a lot of people don't know their why yet. They just know that they're ready. But when you go to start writing down your why, writing down the reasons why you're looking to leave, your 5 may turn into 25. But until you actually go do that, you're not positioned to think about it. So I go through the 5 reasons why I left because most of the time I hear these 5 reasons are probably the 5 reasons why you are looking to leave. And then the other thing I cover is this is country agnostic. Doesn't have to do specifically with Colombia. You can use these tools anywhere. But we go through the 6 steps that you need to move abroad. That is such an important thing because you need to have a roadmap. You aren't moving from Jersey to New York. You aren't moving from Los Angeles to Tennessee. You are moving from the United States to a completely different country, culture, possibly language. These 6 steps are designed to help you, one, level set of where you are right here today. Two, give you a roadmap on how to go about it the right way, learning what you need to learn, doing the research, not just saying, go do the research. No, what is the research? We're going to tell you what that research is so it doesn't just leave you with, this sounds good, but I still don't know where to start. We're going to leave you once you leave the conference. Not only will you have connections and the answers, but you're going to have a different peace of mind when you walk in because you're like, he didn't know me and he doesn't know me, and I won't see your faces, but I'm going to be talking directly to you because I know exactly what you're going through. I've done the market research. So many of us in the expat community have gone through the same things, and those routes have led us right to the spot that we at. So you guys make certain that if you are interested, if you know somebody that is interested in moving abroad, getting some further information. I think early bird tickets are still available. I think they're only $40 for general admission. Those things give you some discounts. They give you you get, I think it's 10% off on Medellín expat services. So we shout out to Carolina. You can use her services from visas to personal assistance. She'll give you 10% off. You guys will also get discounts on our trips. So we have t-shirts on our website that actually is a hotel. The hotel comes with 5 days, 4 nights in Medellin or Cartagena. You will get a discount code that takes $25 off. So if you paid $40 and you essentially get $25 off, and the t-shirt is only 300 bucks, you go on the line right now. You can got go and find 5 days, 4 nights in a nice hotel in Cartagena or Medellin for $300. It just costs a little bit more. So we're doing what we can to not only give you the resources, give you the tools, give you these things that we thought about, you thought about, and then we went ahead and thought a little bit further. But we also give you some things that you can get out here, make it easier for you to get out here. For our VIP people, we increase the amount of discounts you receive. You also get 10% off your digital nomad visa with capital M Law. These are all things designed to say, hey, we want to get you in the door and then give you all of the tools that you need so you're not on there, the next person on TikTok saying, I moved abroad and I had a bad time. No, no, no. You came to the Move Travel Virtual Relocation Conference. That's not going to happen. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear
Okay, so
you.
ladies and gentlemen, just
Okay.
click on. Actually, you can use that link that's here on the ticker below us, and then I'm also going to put all of that information in the show notes from this show. So again, that's July the 12th from 12 to 3 Central, ladies and gentlemen. So RJ, man, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the show again, and look forward to
Always.
seeing you next week on your podcast show.
Yes, definitely. I'll be back on. You guys make sure you like, share, subscribe wherever channel that you are watching this on. This is the best way to be able to find me. I am very easy to find also. I am RJ Mood on Instagram, Mood Travel Club, Mood Travel Colombia, and Black Expat Life in Colombia. I do my best to make it really easy to find us because you need to find us. It is an opportunity for you to make the next best move. And the next best move is to do it the right way and then leap. So thank you, Jason, for always having me on this platform. It's a pleasure. Looking forward to many more conversations. And you know what we're cooking up. So once we gotta have a big grand opening for that one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And shout out to my man Maroof. He takes care of us on the end of helping us with the part of the production of our show. Shout out to him. He's a big help to me and the team. Thank you so much, man, for all you do. God bless you. And RJ, we will see you soon, man. Everybody
So
have a nice 4th of July weekend. Be safe and have a wonderful time.
I'm gonna give me one of those grilled American hot dogs I can't get back in Colombia. So that's the one thing
Okay.
that I take it easy, Jay. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, brother. Take care.
All right.
Thanks for watching Circle Back to You podcast. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next week.